So here we have our 4 tables, and we've implemented them from our design here. And what we need to do now is to relate these tables. We're usually on this tab here or this tab here, yeah? Now we're going to go to Database Tools tab. Now this tab, you have to learn it as well. Like before you learned the Create Table Design. Now in the Database Tools, we'll go for Relationships. We have 4 tables and we have to relate them. It will become more obvious as we proceed with this process. So now let's click on Relationships. So Database Tools, Relationships, Database Tools, Relationships. And here we have an empty window. The first time you create a database, you will get this window here. You see, Show Table, yeah? Now, if you lose this, if you accidentally close it, and you don't know what to do, don't panic. Right-click in the gray area, and it says Show Table. So I repeat, when you first do a database, this will appear automatically. It didn't appear for me because I've done this earlier. You're interested into showing the tables, you don't have any queries or both. You have only queries, yeah? Let me show you once more. Don't panic if you don't see what to do here, but you want to add these tables in this area here, in the Relationships window, yeah? Right click and say Show Table. You have 4 tables here. You can highlight a table and click on Add, or you can just double click on them. I always double click on them, yeah, like that, look. See? I don't know if you can hear the clicking. Or you can say Add. Oops, I've got another one by accident. Now, what do I do when that happens? Right click on it and say basically Hide Table. Or you can, let's see if it happens again, Show Table. Yeah, if it, let's say the Review Table appears again, we can highlight and press the Delete button, which is almost at the top right of your keyboard, the Delete button. If you deleted one by mistake, just go to Show Table and go back to the table that is missing. It's the volunteer table here. And so there you have it. You have to expand them all to the size that they reveal what they're supposed to reveal. So this one is hiding words here, yeah? So you have to expand it, yeah? And this one is hiding a little bit the surname. Be clear with this thing, yeah? You need to link these tables, but how do we actually link the tables? Do we just randomly just draw lines on them? Do we just do that on that and we say create or something like that? No. If you do something like that, right click on the line and say delete, yeah? Because that is wrong. That is very wrong. So you have the primary keys. You've got to drop the primary keys on top, link them with the foreign keys, yeah? That is the purpose of the foreign key. When we moved the primary key beach ID to this table, we left a clone behind, and we can see it here. When we moved the district table with its dependents here, we left a clone behind, and here it is, yeah? We link that primary key to its foreign key, which is down here, that primary key to the district ID, that primary key, the beach ID, to the foreign key here. So let's go to the database. The foreign key is here, yeah, the beach ID foreign key. So we drag that on top of, we drag and drop that on top of beach ID. When we drop it, make sure that they match. We dropped beach ID on top of beach ID. One is the primary key in the beach table. In the review table, you have it as a foreign key, yeah? You click on Enforce Referential Integrity, this, just this, and you say create. This creates a relationship between beach and review, which is one to many. This is the infinity symbol, the many, yeah? One to many. The relationship between beach and review is one to many. So each beach ID can be found in the review table many times, yeah? Each beach ID can be found in the review table many times. Look, if we go back to our design, each beach ID appears many times in the review table. Each beach ID appears many times in the review table. So beach ID 1 appears here twice. Beach ID 2 appears here twice. That is a one-to-many relationship between the beach table, the beach table, and the review table. And it is designed like this: one-to-many. The many, when you design ERDs, is a fork. We call it fork. And it is on the side of the foreign key. Here you have the beach ID as a primary key. Here you have it as a foreign key. On the side where the foreign key is, you add the fork here. And it appears in the design as infinite. In our case, it's like that, it's like that. And compare them, you see. So we have concentrate on the review table and the beach table. We have one to many. So one on this side, one, and many here. So here the many is the infinite and the one is that. This is actually one, you see. That's what we've done so far. Now we need to link these. The primary key of volunteer is here. Its foreign key is there. So we drag the volunteer on top of the volunteer foreign key. Make sure that these words match again, and enforce referential integrity. We'll talk about what the referential integrity does later on. Create. You as well need to link now. Let's say the volunteer table has been linked to the district table, has an ID and its foreign key is here. Now, how many databases do you see here? So basically there is one database up here and another database down here. If I delete the relationship, how many databases do you see now? There is in fact three. One is here, one is here, and one is here. We want just one database, so all of these have to be linked, but in the correct way. We drop again, we recreate this one that we deleted, volunteer on top of its volunteer ID. We check that they match, enforce referential integrity, okay. Now district ID, put it on district ID, enforce referential integrity, okay. So there you have it. Because you're going to submit this in the exam, you cannot actually submit something that is like that. They have to be clear, the lines have to show clear. So there's many ways. As long as they show more or less clear, the lines are not crisscrossing or tangled, it's fine. Another way is to put them in series. You might have a database that is convenient to put in series like this one, So don't take a lot of space. As long as the one-to-many show and everything is in series. It could have been the other way around, it doesn't matter. Could have been this way. As long as the lines are not tangled and every detail in the fields show correctly. They grade us for assigning correct primary keys. They grade us for assigning correct foreign keys, for linking the primary keys to the correct. They can see all of this from the screenshot. They grade us for creating the correct tables. From this they can see that we normalize the data correctly. Depending on how correct this thing is, we get awarded points, and we will be submitting it in PDF. So you will take a screenshot, say new, you can get this using the snipping tool, open a document and paste it in there. We'll practice that a lot before the exam. In fact, this concludes activity 1 of the exam. There are many activities, about 7 activities. This is the first activity that you conclude. In the space of 2 weeks, we have managed to conclude activity 1. We have to pick up the pace, and every week we have to be able to conclude one activity, so that within 7 or 8 weeks we have the experience to finish activities, and learn to gain points from the exam.